All right, we've been talking a lot about the security breach at JFK that allowed a Nigerian man with a bogus boarding card and a bogus ID to fly from New York to Los Angeles. People are questioning just how effective TSA training and screening practices are, and really questioning this is a man who's in the security business, the anti-terrorism business. His name is Aaron Cohen. I should tell you that Aaron has been all over the world, but he's also went to school in Beverly Hills. So, Aaron, good morning to you. How are you?
Good morning, Steve.
Aaron, you're looking at this situation. You're not surprised because you believe, and tell me if I'm overstating, you have people who are not professionals doing this, and inevitably this is going to happen. Is that the right way to say it?
Yeah, well, let me tweak it a little bit coming from the security side. What you have is an organization that has an $8.1 billion budget that I think needs to start being delegitimized. We're 10 years after 9/11. At the time, it was a great idea to create this system, and they were putting it together. But we're 10 years later now, and it's either time to overhaul the Transportation Security Administration, or it's time to disband it and start looking at other options. Because
we should mention you are in the security business. You would like it to be somewhat privatized and use people like you. Am I correct?
Well, I believe that private business creates the best practice. If you look at the measures in place to protect the White House, or let me give you a better example, the measures in place to protect a casino would never allow anyone to steal their money. So the reason why casinos have been so successful in that security system is because it's best practices and it's top companies competing for those contracts. We can take the same approach and apply it to the airport, but I'm not talking about that $5, $6, $7 an hour employee that was there pre-9/11. I'm talking about professionally trained contract security agents who are regulated by the federal government and are applying all of the security measures, which I believe are doable. Everybody says El Al, there's too many flights here, we can't duplicate the Israeli model. I completely disagree. I'll challenge anybody on any show. We're looking at behavior. We're not looking at skin color specifically. We're looking at behavior. That's what we're profiling. And let me make it really clear. The profile of a murderer is the same before a murder as it is after they commit murder.
Well, that's an interesting way of putting things, especially when you equate it to casinos and their money and how valuable that is. And there is a major flaw in the system when they're frisking down 5-year-old little girls and old women with Depends diapers on, and we're letting guys get through on planes with no ticket. It's absolutely...
He had a fake ticket, right?
Yeah,
fake boarding pass.
Everybody wants to know why Al Gore flew private in 2002. He was getting patted down at the airport. It's time to start applying brains and training. The big difference between the Israeli system and the American system is that we don't rely on technology. Yes, we have multi-layers, but technology is just one level. Obviously, you want to have those multi-layers so it takes a multi-failure event. But at the end of the day, this is the best machine. And the moment we start training security professionals to start looking for terrorists, again, behavior. If I'm going to commit an act of murder, my body language is going to be very specific. And I don't want to talk about those specific body languages on television, but I can tell you that there's professionals out there who are trained in it. Let's drop the egos. Let the private industry come in and take a nice chunk of that cheese over so that we can begin to properly insulate the airport. I think people are getting tired of this
taking
ridiculous
off your shoes.
Do you think the rules apply? Do you think the rules should be different a little bit then? So if someone sees, like you were saying, Gore walk through, they go, okay, no, you're not going to go. They see the 2-year-old, okay, you don't need to be patted down.
We would never check them in Israel. That's a complete waste of time. I mean, in Israel, it would take a couple of minutes to ask some questions, and if somebody's lying, they're going to act a certain way. And again, I don't want to give up those details, but if somebody's lying, if I'm asking someone, questions that make them feel uncomfortable, they're going to respond in a manner that uncomfortable people respond. Which is
show us one.
Somebody who, if we ask someone a question and we start grilling them, they're going to get pissed off, and if they get pissed off, that's the right response. Somebody who starts avoiding detection means.
So you're talking about reading people. You're schooled in this. You have a trained background, as opposed to we are robots. Let's pat down the 2-year-old little girl with a diaper. Like that's
I think the Envision system is a complete waste of time. I think it's time to stop with these technical elements. We're losing so much money right now. Let's stop losing $8.1 billion on a system that, again, the word here is delegitimize this Transportation Safety Administration. Everybody knows it. And every time I come on and I start talking about this stuff, I start getting emails from people saying you're right. Everybody knows that there's a problem with the system. It's broken. At the end of the day, you had a passenger with 10 different boarding passes that were fake. Get onto 2 different flights. Skip the most critical layer.
Exit question for you. Quick answer. So far, nothing bad has happened. Lucky or good?
Lucky, and something will happen.
Okay.